New Berks Dawn just dropped a crazy news drop on us, and today I'm going to discuss it with y'all. So earlier this, I don't know, it kind of depends on your time zone, but earlier this night for me, there was kind of a, I'm going to kill that fly, there was kind of a fallout with the New Berks Dawn developers. They had a problem with the fact that only one developer had complete control over the code. And if that one developer went over on vacation, then the other developers would have to wait before they can add new code, because this one person would often go on vacations for a couple of months or leave code on a cliffhanger, and then that would cause conflict. So they started arguing about it, and then they made the decision to actually merge with the Book of Dragons mod. The one that adds all the fancy 3D dragons and motion sickness and all that cool stuff. And they actually released a huge news drop that I printed down. It's like 2 pages of script. Yeah, to start off this news drop, it's no longer going to be on 1.18.2 but rather 1.20x, so like 1.20 on. And it's gonna be on Forge, definitely, and hummingbirds, and probably new Forge, but they're not so sure about that yet. They did say the Book of Dragons mod and the New Berks Dawn mod are still gonna be separate, but the New Berks Dawn is basically gonna be using the Book of Dragons code as a backbone. They're gonna have all the features of the Book of Dragons mod, but they're also going to have their own dragons and stuff like that. So, to put it bluntly, I'm going to just read it straight off the script. Code-wise change, yes. The mod will use the Book of Dragons mechanics like personalities, the emergent AI system, genetics, and etc. The development teams are merging. As teams are merging, Book of Dragons has developed a lot in a way that fits the vision of many of us at once to make the ultimate dream how to change your dragon mod. Also a good explanation to put the Unga Bunga terms. New Berks Dawn Unga Bunga. The New Berks Dawn and Book of Dragons are still 2 separate mods. They are going to be sharing features with each other. The Book of Dragons will be getting features from New Berks Dawn and vice versa. The New Berks Dawns will be getting features from the Book of Dragons. So put it simply, we are not losing anything, we are getting more. And then they showed us the whole explanation of what happened. Old code for New Berks Dawn was controlled by one person. That one person was very particular and did not want the other developers to touch it. So that's where I said in the start of the video of this one developer denying code and going on vacations and stuff like that. Expanding onto it, or okay, so didn't want the other developers to touch it, expand onto it, or add mechanics when that person took breaks. All the dev team had to wait for months, and progress would be delayed after months of conversations. The dev team finally was tired of it, and I and the other developers started to join Book of Dragons and help in its development, and the management worked together. So the 2 developers kind of decided to work together. Well, dev teams, and they've been working on the Book of Dragons together, and basically that just proved the point that the dev team could work together on the code, and it didn't require one person to solely focus on the code. I am Magister, so one of the 2 of the developers from New Berks Dawn Magister is the owner of Book of Dragons. Work together on implementing many unique mechanics that fit shared vision. We decided to combine our projects because we both had the same goal. So, bottom line is, the 2 mods had the same goal, and one of the mods had developers that worked together on the code, while only one guy wanted to focus on the code and didn't want anyone else to touch it. And yeah, honestly, I think if you play the Book of Dragons mod that's in 1.20, you might have realized the difference between features. Yes, they have about the same amount of dragons. Now, of course, Book of Dragons doesn't have its speed stingers, but even though they have the same amount of dragons, Book of Dragons wasn't even nearly as long released as Isle of Berk, and New Berkstone was way into development before Book of Dragons was even an figment of your imagination. Yet it has released and has interesting features that New Berkstone was still working on, so they were always like 50 steps ahead. And then they added here on the script, this is not a reskin, but more a super mod of winning both worlds communities wanted in one core system. A pure reskin, so basically it's not a reskin. It's basically, they're just explaining that they're not like copying and pasting Book of Dragons and just reskinning the dragons to their models. So here's the explanation to a reskin. A pure reskin implies that we are working with the existing Book of Dragons direction, but that is not the case. The teams have come together and are guiding development to make a combined database. So they're combining their databases. I have a feeling they'll be focusing more on the Book of Dragons database if things go well, with features that everybody wants. So basically you can go ahead and make your big suggestions, because the Book of Dragons team is lit. Yeah, honestly I'm super excited. There is just one thing I want to cross over at the end of this video, which kind of decides what I'll be doing from here on out with the sole announcement once New Berkstone releases. So they are going to make variants that are merged into the genetics in the base mod. So Book of Dragons has a whole genetic system where you can breed genetics into one dragon from another, and New Berkstone will be getting that. And they also said you could possibly play both mods at once because they're going to be on the same version. The only problem is you're going to have to make the data pack with both asset types at once, which is very possible, and it's not really that difficult. So yeah, we are definitely playing both at once, I hope. The advanced taming mechanisms will be completely expansive and all that. There is no ETA, but it will be coming a lot sooner because the development team has multiplied by like 3-4 times, and the creativity of the Book of Dragons development is way higher than the New Berkstone, and they're quick to work. They don't focus on one person needing to do something. The whole team works together and they work in harmony. There is no debate and argument and stuff like that. Dragons will be getting a unique personality. Book of Dragons has a full expansive taming system. Every dragon has a unique personality and will react to player in different ways. New Berkstone will hopefully be getting this feature. There will be more news soon. They are planning on releasing a public roadmap, but they will be following the Book of Dragons roadmap, but updates will be coming way faster because mainly the models aren't as 3D. They are more they are 3D, but they're more Minecraft-like. There will be name tag auto set, so you can use name tags to auto set to the original variant. This is basically more progress than it is lost, so we won't be losing anything with the fact that the development teams of New Berkstone kind of had this fallout because they merged with Book of Dragons. We'll be getting a lot more features, a lot faster. The ETA will be a lot quicker. It's not official yet, the date, but it's going to be a lot faster. They also said, damn Enderman, hold up, bro's snooping. Give me a second. They also said they were all going to be there's grass in my. This guy's following me. They also said they are going to be replacing even faster and have actually gained progress via their on-site work and updates that just aren't allowed to be. So basically they are going to be replacing a lot of things. because of a lot of the code was written by some of the developers of New Bergstorm. The J would just simply deny the code because they didn't understand it, which is a problem. When you work with a development team writing code, the best method to work together is to review the code, and if you don't understand the code, you have a discussion with the person that wrote it while reviewing it, and if you don't understand a certain line, you're like, hey, can you explain this line to me? And if you can learn from the line, then you can build off it. You don't just simply reject it because you don't understand it, which was a major problem with the New Bergstorm development team. It's not the team in a whole, it's simply just one developer. The New Bergstorm team is a great team and have been working hard. But yeah, there was just this one minor inconvenience that kind of like broke out into a public brawl. I'm gonna say myself, I did have a brawl with the New Bergstorm team a while ago, but yeah, of course I do regret it, but yeah, anyway, of course I did discuss New Bergstorm planned features are also shared with Book of Dragons, so Book of Dragons will also be getting new features. So both mods are benefiting from this. They are still getting the motion sickness system, data equipment systems that allow infinite types. So there is a data-driven system that allows equipments to have infinite amount of types, so infinite amount of possibilities. The base game will also have Book of Dragons. There will be more to be discussed about that. The first release will be a parody, so all the dragons that Book of Dragons has will be inside New Bergstorm, so that would be the Night Fury, the Nadder, the Gronkle, the Zippleback, the Whispering Death, Monstrous Nightmare, etc. And Book of Dragons will be getting the Secret Dragon, the Mystery Dragon, I hope. But New Bergstorm will definitely still be getting that. There is no lost content. There is only gain from this. With that, that is pretty much the entire news drop from New Bergstorm. So where does that leave me? So if you don't know, I have kind of been developing add-ons for Isle of Berk Archipelago editions and mods such as, and I've been making mod packs. So further on, I'll basically just be working on that until New Bergstorm releases. And when New Bergstorm releases, I will be working on expansions for that. But for that, I need to first learn how the New Bergstorm code works. But that shouldn't take a while. I'm a pretty quick learner. And at first, I'll basically be focusing on main things such as structures and nest and possibly custom blocks and dimensions. And we'll basically be building off from there. Our development team, which at the moment is just 3 people, will be learning a new system, and we'll still be making mods for New Bergstorm. With that, I hope you all enjoyed the video and found this news drop extremely exciting, and I'll see y'all on the next one.